You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, authorities in Jasper County respond to a trailer house fire near Carthage.
And a very familiar looking orange car. Remember this one? Well, it's in a crash in southern Missouri.
And we've got ourselves an absolutely gorgeous day for us, but we have some changes on the way as well. We'll talk about your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A Galena, Kansas man learns his fate in a Cherokee County District Court. James Bilkey Jr. of Galena received more than a year imprisonment earlier this month. 15-month sentence came after Bilkey pled guilty to attempted aggravated battery, which stemmed from a January 2020 altercation. Now, Bilkey is being held in the Cherokee County Jail pending transfer to the Kansas Department of Corrections. Firefighters battle a trailer house fire in Jasper County. Crews responded to the house fire just before 8:30 Monday night at West Mound Street near Carthage. Carthage Fire Department, Jasper County Sheriff's deputies, and Mercy Ambulance responded. Tri-Cities Fire and the Orinoco Fire provided backup. When they arrived, first responders observed a trailer house completely destroyed by fire. There were no occupants. Carthage Fire says while they are investigating the cause of the fire, there is not much to search as the structure was consumed. And the KBI and Galena police are currently investigating a body found in Galena. And details are few at this time. According to the Galena Police Chief Billy Charles, officers were called about 3 p.m. for a body in a field near 11th and Wood Streets. That's near the tire monofill. Our KOAM crew at the scene was told the KBI was in charge of the investigation. We've reached out for more details and we'll update you as we learn more. Well, a very familiar looking orange Dodge Charger crashed on a highway in southern Missouri. This was on Sunday. The General Lee was among hundreds made for the hit TV show The Dukes of Hazzard. Both people in the car were evaluated and taken to the hospital. There was no word on their conditions or what caused the one vehicle accident. The local fire department says more than 300 General Lees were built for the TV show, which ran from 1979 to 1985. Only 17 reportedly survived. And now we're down to 16.
Yeah, we are down to 16, and as we take a look outside at our MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline, take a look. We got a beautiful day out there. We got clear roads. We've got some passing clouds out there, but an otherwise beautiful sunrise this morning. Down to 44 in Joplin, feeling like 40 with an east breeze at about 8 miles an hour. And as we look across the region, again, it's a chilly start for us. 37 Iola, Fort Scott, 43 Chanute Parsons, 44 Miami, 43 Neosho, and we're sitting at 45 in Carthage. And as we get our day started, we'll have plentiful sunshine with some passing clouds. Winds will start gusting too from 20 to 25 miles an hour, but we warm up quickly. Lower 60s by 11 this morning. We're heading for highs today, upper 60s to near 70. We've got lots of sunshine out there, and again, a few passing clouds, but otherwise a pretty picturesque day. As we head into this evening, we'll have the clouds start to increase. We're slow to cool too. Check out the 8 o'clock temperature of 55 degrees, 53 by 10. We eventually make it down to 46 for our overnight low. Now, we are cooler tomorrow, more clouds, 60. We're watching thunderstorm chances Thursday down to 54. Possibility of some morning snow Friday, and that could be some accumulating snow. We're keeping an eye on that for you. 38. Anything we do see Friday is short-lived because we'll warm up through the weekend. 47 Saturday, 56 Sunday, back up to 63 by next Monday. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Joplin School Board wants to upgrade security systems at the district's school buildings. The board laid out a more than $5 million capital spending proposal. That money would go towards a variety of projects ranging from new buses to lead testing and security upgrades.
There's one camera that they call a 360, and it gets a wide swath of an area where the older cameras before would just focus on maybe a singular area, where this focuses on a large area, and then within that area you can dial that down to a smaller area and make that small area become very clear.
The board also previewed 3 messaging platforms intended to establish two-way messaging between school officials and parents. Well, this week is Diversity Week at Pitt State. The university is hosting several events to celebrate. On Monday, they hosted the America's Social Mixer. It was a chance for students to come together enjoy some food and drinks, and celebrate the many cultures in our part of the world.
So I have been planning this since last semester. This has just been something that I've been wanting to do and bring a diversity week here on campus, as other campuses do this across Kansas. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for us to show the diversity that we have here on campus. So this is just like the first kickoff to the week.
Some of the other events this week include a Black History Month trivia night, a World Languages booth, and an International Food and Culture Fair. Up next, we've got Jasmine Kyle from the SEK Humane Society in studio to introduce us to a very good boy.
And later, we'll take you to Aurora, Colorado to meet a man who may be the oldest living veteran in the state. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Drop it off at our doggy bag.
Right, welcome back. It's time for another visit from the SEK Humane Society, and Jasmine is joining us along with a very, very happy puppy.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, look at him sit. So this is Diesel. Diesel is a 2-year-old husky mix. So Diesel, as you can see, knows how to sit on command. A lot of people unfortunately shy away from Diesel. So with him being over 2 years old, sadly, he's been with us for over a year. He comes off as very high energy, and however, he's very well leash trained when going outside. He's an absolute lover is the issue. So, and I wouldn't even call it an issue. A lot of people are now tending to want family emotional support dogs, and that's what Diesel would love to apply for. He is going to be the dog that's up on your couch, up giving you hugs and kisses. Even on the right up here, he wanted to be held like a puppy dog and almost fell asleep in our arms. He's a sweet little Casanova. He really, really is. So
you said a husky mix?
Yes. So, which is really interesting. When he came in, his tail, of course, he was a little scared, of course, because all animals don't know what a shelter is. So with Diesel being a husky mix, when he is getting really, you can go up on the chair. When getting really interested into things, his tail will actually curve like a husky's. And that's how we started to notice those husky trends with Diesel.
Oh, you were talking about snuffling?
Yeah, so snuffling. So if you've ever seen your dog get into that really deep sniffing, we call that snuffling. It is a great enrichment activity for dogs. You'll see those snuffling mats or blankets and towels. You can DIY that. So if you have like an old beach towel and you tie it in knots and you shove treats in there, they'll start digging at it and snuffling. Almost 10 minutes of snuffling actually equivalates to like 40 minutes of hard exercise outside. It's due to all those receptors in their noses trying to gauge out smelling the textures through those materials. It's great enrichment, whether that's for a shelter dog or an animal at your house right now. Try snuffling techniques. They're really good for animals.
The weather's bad, you can't get out for a walk that day.
Especially with snow coming in this week.
Yeah.
Try it out. It's great. And kids can do it too with knotting those blankets.
How fun. Okay, so speaking of kids, you've got an activity coming up for the kids, a fundraiser at that, for Easter.
Yeah, so we're bringing back our 4th annual Egg My Yard. Easter morning, we will be out with lots of our bunny volunteers from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and we will do the work for you. So we will have pre-filled, candy-filled eggs, and we'll hide them into your yards, anywhere that you prescribe to us in those areas of your house. We will accommodate food allergies. It's all about giving back and helping out our community and those parents while it's a fundraiser for our own animals. And then as for payment, right now, you can either mail it off to our P.O. box or you can drop by our doggy bag. But once you email me, I'm going to put you on a list. These spots do go out rather fastly. Each year, it just opened up yesterday for registration, and we only have about 40 to 50 households that we have reserved for this event.
Because you need more volunteers if you're going to have more houses.
Exactly.
How many did you end up doing last year?
We did almost 2,000 eggs last year.
Woo!
So it is a lot. We will actually get a few days beforehand and we will all have a team of like 15 and we are stuffing eggs for hours. It's a lot of fun. And we get to really see some great pictures afterwards of families saying thank you and coming out to see the dogs and getting pictures of the kids finding them.
Awesome.
So we really love this activity, not only as a fundraiser for animals, but we get to actually physically engage with our community in a different way.
All right, well, if you are interested in learning more about the Egg My Yard, I'm sure you guys have information and a link on your Facebook page as well. And we want to get this puppy, Diesel, adopted.
Yeah, and this is how he is once he's completely knows where he's at and he's calmed down. And it's, again, where we are right now, he's never been to the studio for. This is him. This is him once he's calmed down. So if you come out and you see him eager, give him 10 minutes and he will be sitting with you on command and walking with you great on a leash. He's a great dog and he's sponsored too. No adoption fee.
Awesome. All right, well, that's all the time we have for this morning. So make sure you give the SEK Humane Society a call. We'll be right back.
Well, it's always a worthy occasion to celebrate our veterans.
But for this veteran, the celebration was over 100 years in the making.
At VFW Post 3631, they've hosted plenty of birthdays over the years. But they've never had a party quite like this one.
For an old guy, I'm pretty good.
That's Harold Nelson, by all accounts, the oldest veteran in Colorado. Today, he's turning 108.
I don't smoke, drink, or chew, or associate with those that do.
His family says that's not entirely true. He does enjoy the occasional bourbon.
Oh, once in a while, yeah.
But at 108, remains sharp as a tack.
He said, I can't really believe I have 2 girls on Social Security.
His daughter, Carol Lee, says it's a miracle he's made it this far, escaping death time and time again while overseas in World War II.
He had many close calls.
Harold has 2 Purple Hearts to show for it, and today was thanked for his service.
Look up on the ceiling.
With a ceiling tile normally reserved for heroes who have passed.
There's my name on there?
No.
Okay. It is. How come?
Because you're still alive and with us, mister.
The VFW deciding to skip the cake after hearing what happened at Harold's last birthday.
And the cake was full of candles. It took all four or 6 of my grandchildren to light them. Because the first ones were burning out before the last ones got lit.
108 candles for a Colorado hero with no plans of slowing down.
Absolutely incredible.
That's
That is
awesome.
kind of crazy to think that, like you said, he's got 2 girls on Social Security. Imagine living that long. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's probably got a huge family too.
I have no doubt that he does. So
108. Wow.
that's just amazing. Our forecast today, almost as amazing. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line, we're looking pretty good. Still got a nice sunrise out there, some passing clouds in Joplin. 44 feels like 40 with an east breeze at 8 miles an hour. Still chilly start for us across the area, but it'll warm up. 37 Iola Fort Scott, 43 Parsons, 44 Miami, 43 Neosho, as well as Lamar. As we go through the day, we'll see winds start to pick up a bit, gusts 20 to 25 miles an hour. It'll be mostly sunny with a few passing clouds, and check it out, we're warming up quickly. Lower 60s by 11 this morning. We're pushing highs, upper 60s near 70. Sunny skies, some passing clouds, and a bit on the breezy side. And as we head into this evening, we're down to 46 for our low, but it's slow to get there. Check out these temperatures, down to 53 by 10 with a few increasing clouds as we head into the overnight. Some changes on the way, a little cooler tomorrow, 60. Thunderstorms on Thursday, 54. We're looking at some morning snow chances as we go into Friday, and 38, and then we start to warm up again back through the 40s, the 50s, and even into the lower 60s by the start of next week. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Joining us in the studios, Crystal Albright and Ann Wolf, to tell us about a very unique dinner mystery that's coming up. So welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Nice and early morning, but it's going to be a pretty nice day, so that's good. So what exactly have you got coming up here?
So I'll let her talk about the event a little bit, and then I'll talk about Loving Grace.
That sounds great.
Well, we've got a murder mystery coming up, actually. It's going to be a 1920s, roaring 20s gangster murder mystery party.
Okay, I like
and
that.
It's this March 11th at 6 a.m. or 6
6
p.m.
p.m.
Jeez.
It's almost 6
It's
a.m.
almost
now.
6 a.m. right now, yeah.
So it'll start at 6, and we'll have cocktail hour. We'll do a silent auction during that time. We'll also do a gift grab, and then we'll start at 7, and that's when the show will start. And we'll have dinner served by Trackside, so a very good dinner.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely incredible. So we're hosting the dinner. What exactly is the dinner for?
With the last name Albright.
So the dinner is for Loving Grace. It's our fundraiser that we're doing. Loving Grace is a transitional housing for young women 18 to 24, getting out of foster care or just in a bad situation, homeless. And we're so much more than just housing. We're a program as well. We teach life skills. We help them get their driver's license, further their education if that's something that they are looking for. And we have two houses. One house is for young ladies, and then the second house is for young ladies and their babies. Again, we teach them life skills, budgeting, anything that they need to learn with the young ladies with the babies. We also help with coaching, positive parenting.
Yeah, there's a lot that's got to go on, and there's a lot to pick up if you're going to be on your own, especially if you do have a child. So there's a lot of information you guys have to pass. So how important is a fundraiser like this for Loving Grace?
So it's very important that, with it being a nonprofit, it's just one of the ways that we can help raise money. Of course, we take donations and any type of volunteers that we can, but it's just another way for us to raise money for our programs.
And about how many young ladies do you think you help through the year?
Through the year, so each house, one house can hold up to 8 ladies, and then the other one can do 7 ladies and then their babies. So it's a small facility, but we do get in a lot of quality relationships with those ladies. So we probably get it's a 2-year program, so probably about maybe 50.
Okay, yeah. And that's still a significant number of folks that are going to be getting some much needed assistance. So real quick recap on the event that's coming up. What time? What do people need to know?
Well, what you need to know is it's on March 11th. It starts at 6 p.m. Tickets are $75 each. We're going to, they're going to provide a dinner, and the murder mystery starts at 7 o'clock.
All right. And then real quick, if people want to learn more about Loving Grace.
They can go to lovinggrace.org, and that's 1 G, not 2 Gs, and check out our website.
Perfect. And you had something else you wanted to add?
I did. It's at Adeline Acres in Carl Junction.
That's good to know where you're going for this. So,
yes.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we'll have all this information on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com as well. And we'll be back with more right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:27. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announces funding to support sexual assault victims. More than $2 million in grant awards will go towards improving how the state supports victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, rape, and stalking. These grants are provided through the Federal Services Training Officers and Prosecutors Violence Against Women Act Formula Grant Program. Now, the grant program supports efforts to respond to crimes against women by developing, training, or expanding units of law enforcement officers, prosecutors, judges, and court personnel specifically targeting crimes against women. The Missouri Department of Transportation announces lane closures on Missouri Route 59 or Cliffside Drive in McDonald County. It's between Missouri Route 90 and Main Street in Knoll. There will be traffic delays on Route 50 starting at 7 a.m. next Monday and will continue for several weeks. The goal is to stabilize the stream bank and make sidewalk improvements along Elk River. MoDOT also announced the temporary closure of Route DD or Waldo Road to I-49 south at exit 91 south of Nevada. The on-ramp will close from noon to 2 p.m. today to allow contractors to repair the guardrail. There will not be any signed detours, and drivers are urged to find alternate routes. You can go online to KOAMnewsnow.com for a look at road closings and traffic impacts.
Well, we've got ourselves a pretty decent day across the area. We'll see wind gusts picking up 20 to 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, a few passing clouds out there, warming up quickly into the lower 60s by 11. We've got highs today pushing into the upper 60s to near 70. Again, breezy conditions and some passing clouds, but otherwise a pretty nice day across the region. We are slow to cool this evening. Check out these evening temperatures. We'll see the clouds begin to increase. We're heading for an overnight low of about 46 degrees. We're a little bit cooler as we head into tomorrow, only making it up to 60 with mostly cloudy skies. Watching thunderstorms Thursday, 54, maybe some morning snow on Friday we're keeping an eye on, and that could be an accumulating snow, but it's still a little too early to pin down exact amounts, but stay with us. We'll keep getting new information and we'll have you updated on that. 38 for the high, and anything we do see Friday will be quick to melt because 47 Saturday, 56 by Sunday, and then Monday we're cloudy, we're breezy, but check it out, temperatures back into the lower 60s. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness plan is in the spotlight today. The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments on 2 cases linked to the program. John Lawrence reports.
Braving the rainy conditions, a crowd gathered near the U.S. Supreme Court in anticipation of the High Court's decision on the country's student loan forgiveness program.
We all have tremendous amounts of student debt because of the predatory practices of our capitalist economy.
Millions of student loan borrowers could see up to $20,000 of their debt canceled, depending on the outcome of Tuesday's hearing.
What we want to remind American people more broadly is how this program is going to give tens of millions of Americans across the country a little bit of a breathing room that you hear from the president, who says this a lot. That's part of his economic plan.
Critics of the program say the country can't afford to pick up the tab.
We believe that a lot of the inflation is a direct result of bad policies that this president's done through executive order, like canceling the Keystone Pipeline and the student loan debt and things like that.
2 cases are in front of the justices Tuesday. In one, 6 Republican-led states say they would be harmed financially if the program goes into effect. The other involves 2 borrowers in Texas who don't fully qualify for debt forgiveness under the program. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
How and when the justices rule will also determine when payments on federal student loans will continue after a pandemic-related pause that went into place nearly 3 years ago. The Biden administration has said payments will resume 60 days after litigation over the forgiveness program is resolved, or at the end of August, whichever comes first. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission is in studio with a recipe for a marble loaf. You and your family don't want to miss this one.
And we've got an absolutely gorgeous day shaping up across the 4 states. We'll take another look at your forecast in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Once again, joined by Charlene Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you here, as always.
Thank you.
Been making some incredible treats so far this month, and we've got something else going right here.
You'll love this recipe. It is a chocolate marble loaf. I don't know whether it's a cake or a bread. It is so delicious and moist. Your family's gonna love it. And the marble is kind of a fun touch. We've been talking about this as Bake for Family Fun Month.
Right.
So it's fun for the kids to get involved with this. We're not gonna use a mixer, we're gonna use a whisk. So again, this would be a great recipe for kids. I have our sugar in here, and you're gonna add 4 eggs. Okay. So I'm gonna start mixing this, and you pour that in. Great. And then you are going to add the melted margarine. Okay. And that is another one of our soy ingredients. Great. And I like to use when I'm doing baking, a margarine that has a higher oil content. And this one has 80% oil in it, so that makes it better for our baking. And now we're going to add the vanilla soy beverage. Okay. Very good. And you have a little bit of vanilla there. How about that?
It's already sounding amazing so far.
Oh, yes. And then we're going to add in our dry ingredients. And we have our all-purpose flour there. And then that other little container has some baking powder and salt in it.
Okay.
Very good. Now we just want to mix that until it's all blended. We don't want to over mix it, but you do want to mix it until you can't see any of the dry. I'm going to let you hold this up, and I'll talk about that because our next step, this is 2 milk chocolate candy bars. Okay. And they would have soy lecithin in it, and I just took those and put them in the microwave to melt it a little bit. And that is going to be our marble effect that we're going to do. Okay. I don't see any more flour in there. So what I'm going to do is I will take just a little bit of this, and you know what I'm going to let you do?
I am excited to find out.
I'm going to let you take this spoon and you melt that or mix that together.
Okay.
And that is just about, I don't know, maybe a third of a cup that we're going to put in there with that. And then I'm going to put our rest of our batter in our loaf pan. And with this loaf pan, Chris, I greased it and then I also floured it a little bit. And that will help with the release of it when it comes out. So try that little tip. Be sure you shake the flour out really good. Because we don't want to have a lot of it in it. Now what I'm going to do, I'll take this from you, and then you have another utensil that you're going to use there. Is I'm just going to put dots on there. And one thing that I found when I'm making this recipe is that if you do the chocolate and melt it early, and then it starts to set up, go ahead and remelt it so that it's really liquidy. Ours is just set up just a little bit because we had done it ahead of time. But if you let it melt really good and then put that batter in, I'm going to show how we have that right there. Then you're going to take that and swirl it.
Okay. So
and that's going to make the marble that's going to be in our bread. Great. Kids would love doing this, wouldn't they? And that'll make a design there. Perfect. This will go in the oven and bake for about 55 to 65 minutes at 350 degrees. And I would use a wooden pick to make sure that it's done. Then when you take it out of the oven, let it set for about 10 minutes to cool. Then I would run a little knife around the side to loosen it, turn it upside down, and then let it cool really good. And look at this beautiful loaf that you have, that you'll have that chocolate all the way through. It's just delicious.
It looks delicious too. It makes for a great snack at any time.
It does. The kids will love it after school, won't they?
They certainly will. It'll hold them over till dinner time.
That's right.
All right, Charlene. Of course, where can they go for all this information?
Yes, they should go to our website at kansassoybeans.org or call our 800 number 877-KS-SOYBEAN. And the Kansas Soybean Commission has lots of recipes.
All right, Charlene, thank you. And of course, all this information at KOAMnewsnow.com as well. We're back with more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Live look at the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline. We are looking pretty good so far. And from 7th and Rangeline, same thing. A few passing clouds out there. Otherwise, not bad. 44. 40 is what it feels like with an east breeze at 8, so it is a bit of a chilly start, but worry not, it will warm up quickly now that the sun is rising. 37 in Iola, 43 Parsons, 48 Miami, 45 Neosho Carthage, and we're sitting at 42 in Lamar. And here's what we're talking about that quick warm-up. Well, mostly sunny skies. We'll have a few passing clouds like we're seeing this morning, but look at this. We're up into the lower 60s by 11. We'll also see winds pick up. We're looking at gusts from 20 to 25 miles an hour. Through the day, we're looking at highs pushing the upper 60s to near 70. Plentiful sunshine, a few passing clouds, but otherwise a textbook spring-like day. And we are slow to cool this evening, down to 62 at 6, 55 by 8, 53 by 10. Start to see some clouds increase, and we'll drop to an eventual low of 46 degrees. Now, we are watching some changes down the road that include thunderstorms and then snow. But first, 60 tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, so a little bit cooler. 54 Thursday. This is where our thunderstorm chances come in Thursday early afternoon. We could see a strong storm or two Thursday, but we're not anticipating any severe weather. And then as we head into Friday, see, check it out. We get down to freezing Thursday night. Friday morning, we're looking at the possibility of some accumulating snow. Now, it's still a little too early to say exactly how much we're looking at, but there's that possibility, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. 38 for the high, and we start to warm up through the weekend. 47 Saturday, 56 Sunday, lower 60s Monday, near 70 by next Tuesday. We see showers build in yet again as we go through the rest of next week. And because we're going to be cloudy, we're going to be showery, it's going to start to get chilly again, down to 53 Wednesday. And we're going to drop all the way back to 40 for a high by next Thursday. That's a check of your forecast. Now here's Tanya Bach with Consumer Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Facebook owner Meta is backing a tool aimed at reducing revenge porn, especially for teens on its platforms. It's called Take It Down, and it works like this. Users have to download special software that can anonymously add a digital footprint to photos. Meta will then maintain a database of those digital fingerprints, but not the photos themselves. If a photo with the same fingerprint ever posts to Facebook or Instagram, the company will be alerted and can review the photo. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which operates Take It Down, says it has received more than 250,000 reports of online enticement since 2016. In the last year, nearly 80% of those cases involved someone seeking money to keep an image off of social media. Well, the creator of the comic strip Dilbert is getting more backlash after the cartoonist made comments last week that many say were racist. Scott Adams says his publisher, Penguin Random House, will not print his forthcoming book, Reframe Your Brain. The book was set for release in September. Adams shared the news on Twitter on Monday. He said his publisher also will not sell any previous books that he has written. More of Gen Z worldwide are choosing the iPhone over an Android. The Wall Street Journal reports this could lead to Apple dominating the global phone market like it does in the U.S. Roughly 52% of 18 to 29-year-olds living in South Korea own an iPhone, and that's according to Gallup Korea. That's an 8% jump from 2 years ago. Samsung, which was founded in South Korea, is not seeing that much success. Gen Zers' use of Samsung's smartphone fell 1% within that same period. Samsung continues to be on top in the global smartphone market, but Apple is at a close second. Well, the FBI is sounding the alarm on a growing trend. Scammers targeting victims in online romance scams and pressuring them to invest in cryptocurrency. Officials say the trend is picking up speed and they expect it to grow this year. Cole Higgins has a warning from one man who became a victim and what you should look out for.
A concerning trend involving online romance and crypto scams, prompting both federal and state officials to take action to protect consumers.
What they don't realize is at a certain moment, these people are going to wipe that out and the money's gone.
According to a preliminary internet crime report from the FBI, a growing number of scammers are using cryptocurrency as bait to lure in victims in romance scams and other fraud schemes.
You see these false promises of easy money being combined with people's limited knowledge or limited experience with cryptocurrency. And it sets it up for really the perfect storm for a scam.
The FBI says more than 19,000 victims reported losing over $739 million to romance scammers last year. The agency says the trend is growing and it anticipates a higher number of reported financial losses from crypto scams this year. Dennis Corey says a romance chat that turned into a crypto trading partnership left him hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt in just 1 month.
Emotionally drained, physically drained, psychologically drained.
Corey says when he tried to get his money out, he was told he had to pay supposed taxes and other fees. Corey says he took out loans, advances on credit cards, and wiped out his savings to pay off his debt.
I just want to make it out there public so people will be aware and not to get involved in this.
Meanwhile, the growing concern prompting officials in California to launch a crypto scam tracker. It's a new website designed to help Californians spot and avoid crypto scams.
Well, according to the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, the most common crypto scams are imposter websites. So do your research on the website or the app before you invest. Also, experts say if the deal or opportunity seems too good to be true, it probably is. Be on the lookout for high-pressure sales tactics or time-sensitive opportunities. Those are designed to convince you to make irrational decisions. We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Hollywood has a quintet of action-packed movies heading to theaters in March.
Rick Damigella has a preview.
No friends in the industry, I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies.
Michael B. Jordan steps back in the ring and behind the camera to star in and direct Creed 3. The bell rings March 3rd.
This is Commander Mills. My ship was hit by an undocumented asteroid.
Adam Driver crash lands on an unfamiliar world populated by prehistoric creatures in 65. The fight to survive begins March 10th.
Hey, Khaleesi!
Billy Batson and his superpowered siblings are back in Shazam! Fury of the Gods. The sequel to the 2019 DC movie flies into theaters March 17th.
I'm going to need a gun.
Welcome back, Mr. Wick. Keanu Reeves returns as the well-dressed assassin in John Wick Chapter 4. The contract goes out March 24th.
We're thieves, but we help the wrong person steal the wrong thing and unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known.
Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez will need to make critical roles during their adventure in Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. The game begins March 31st. Getting an extra large popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
A lot of great movies coming up. You got really excited about one of those movies.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Something I think that Tanya's going to go and see.
I might just do that. No, some of those look, the Dungeons and Dragons one. I love dragons. I think you know that too.
I do. I mean, all of them look pretty darn fantastic. So make sure you make time in your schedule to go and see them. And today, though, is a great day to go out and see the outdoors because we're looking wonderful. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking pretty good so far. Few passing clouds out there. Otherwise, mostly clear skies. 44 in Joplin, feeling like 40 with that east breeze at about 8 miles an hour. And across the region, we're still a little chilly. 37 Iola, 39 Fort Scott, 41 Pittsburgh, 46 Chitopa, 48 Miami, 42 Lamar, 45 Carthage, 46 Monette, and 45 in Neosho. So great start to the day. Again, chilly one, but not bad. We will warm up quickly with mostly sunny skies. Again, a few passing clouds out there. Winds start to pick up, though. We'll start to see those gusts 20 to 25 miles an hour. But look at this. We're up to about 61 by 11. We're going to make it up to 65 by noon. Holding on to those mostly sunny skies. Highs pushing upper 60s to near 70 degrees today. And as we head into this evening, winds will calm down, start to see the clouds increase a bit. Temperatures slow to cool, but they eventually get down to a low of 46 degrees. Now, we are watching some changes in the forecast as we head into the second half of the week. Starting tomorrow, more clouds, a little cooler, 60. Watching thunderstorm chances Thursday with a high of 54 down to 32, and then we could see some morning snow on Friday, the high of 38, so we're keeping an eye on all of this for you. Then we're going to warm back up, so anything that we do see on Friday isn't going to stick around too long. 47 by Saturday, 56 Sunday, back up to 63 by next Monday. So on Thursday, I wanted to touch on this. We have the possibility of maybe a strong storm or two. We're not looking at anything too crazy Thursday, but something we'll monitor for you. And same with Friday. We're looking at accumulating snowfall, but it's still a pinch too early to determine exactly how much and where, but we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. From New Jersey to Maine, much of the Northeast is under a winter storm warning as more than half a foot of snow may be coming over the next day. In the Midwest, residents across several states are cleaning up after tornadoes down trees and power lines and rip roofs off of homes and damage businesses. Meanwhile, in California's Sierra Nevada mountains, up to 6 more feet of snow is expected following last week's powerful storms. The new House Select Committee focusing on China holds its first public hearing tonight. The panel's top Republican and Democrat told CBS's Face the Nation they hope to work in a bipartisan way as they try to highlight the threats the Chinese Communist Party poses to the U.S. The Chinese spy balloon and China's support for Russia's invasion of Ukraine are expected to be early focuses. And the defense rested its case yesterday in the double murder trial of Alex Murdaugh. Today, the prosecution will call a handful of rebuttal witnesses. Afterwards, the jury will visit Murdaugh's home where his wife and son were killed, part of a request by the defense team. Closing arguments are expected to begin later this week.
We've got some winds gusting 20-25 miles an hour today. Otherwise, highs pushing upper 60s near 70. We'll be mostly sunny with a few passing clouds out there, so a beautiful day. As we head into this evening, winds calm down, clouds increase, temperatures slow to cool, heading for a low of 46. A little cooler tomorrow as we only make it up to 60, mostly cloudy skies. Watching thunderstorm chances Thursday, 54, 38 Friday with maybe some morning snow, and then the warm weather returns as we head into next week.
Well, animals at a zoo in Oregon get a chance to enjoy the winter weather moving across the state.
Polar bears, otters, and other animals at the Oregon Zoo were seen playing in the snow, having their best time.
The zoo closed its doors temporarily for visitors due to the snowy conditions.
And more wet weather is expected to hit the area over the next week. So boy, they are having a lot of fun, and depending on what we see snowfall wise on Friday, might be able to have a little fun down here as well in the snow.
That's right.
Hopefully we don't see too much though. I'm done with the snow. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm over the winter. I'm over it.
I'm over it too. I'm ready for summer.
Oh, I'm not quite ready for summer, but I'd like some spring here first.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get a little more spring in the next few weeks. So.
That sounds good. I like that.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're going to be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.